The Emperor has been expecting you.
Greetings, Star Travelers. This is Manu Ushanka, a video with English subtitles as always. I suppose every one of you was at least once concerned with the question of the allegiance of Stormtroopers. As you know, the Stormtroopers are soldiers in remarkable white costumes who serve the Galactic Empire. But that is not everything one need to know about these faceless warriors. The interesting fact is that they are neither the part of the Imperial Army nor the part of the Imperial Fleet. The Stormtrooper Corps is a distinct organization of elite troopers who are for the most part independent from the Army command. But if Stormtroopers do not belong to the Army ranks, then who does? Who are the regular soldiers? How do they look like? What is their combat role? It is time to find out. In the old Star Wars canon, now called The Legends, there is an interesting book called Imperial Handbook, a Commander's Guide, that contains a lot of interesting information about the role of the Imperial Army. This handbook was published in the year 2014, and Star Wars Rebels creators incorporated quite a few of the details into the cartoon, but unfortunately the TV series themselves contain so much bullshit, so I wouldn't recommend you to take it seriously. It is just another Disney's fairy tale, that's all.
Follow me to a place where incredible feats are routine every hour or so. Where enchantment runs rampant, just wild in the streets. Open sesame, here we go!
Anyways, let's get back to the handbook. According to the book, the armed forces of the Galactic Empire consist of 3 military branches: the Fleet, the Stormtrooper Corps, and the Army. I guess you're already familiar with the concept of the Imperial Fleet. The fleet itself needs a whole new video dedicated to it, and maybe I will even make it one day. But today we are talking about the Army. And please do not let this white armored fella deceive you. He's not a part of the Army. What are you doing here? We came here to talk about the regular folk, not about the elite, you pretentious trooper. Okay, that's better. So in the picture you can see a regular, non-elite, I said non-elite, soldier. Usually these men were used by the Imperial HQ on the planets, where special equipment was not necessary. In my opinion, these army men should have been shown on Lothal, since the planet's climate was temperate, and there was no need to use the special forces. In fact, it would also make way more sense to see the army troopers fooled by Ezra rather than Stormtroopers, since the latter ones received too much of a training to be fooled with by a teenager. In fact, that is the part of the reason why I don't really like the Rebels TV series. They turned the elite of the elite into clowns. How typical for a series where Aladdin is the main protagonist.
Pack your shield, pack your sword. You want air, they'll get bored, they'll get beaten. Oh God, you might. Come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly to another Arabian night.
As it is stated in the handbook, soldiers of the army weren't used on planets like Endor, that were too important, or on planets like Tatooine, that had a dangerous environment. That explains why we didn't see much of them in the films, but they do appear there actually. The important feature of the Stormtrooper Corps was that it had practically no armored vehicles. That means that the AT-ATs and the AT-STs used by the Imperials belonged to the Army, not to the Corps. The biological cavalry, regiments that used animal mounts, was also the prerogative of the Imperial Army. Yet it was also used by the Stormtrooper Corps, as it was seen in A New Hope. But what is the difference between the Imperial Army and the Stormtrooper Corps? The distinction is quite easy. To become a soldier of the Imperial Army, you just have to sign a contract with the government, and your service begins. Becoming a Stormtrooper is a completely different deal. To even have a chance to be ranked into the Corps, a person must either have a pretty long career in the Imperial Army as a soldier, or have a finished education in the military academy. After enlisting into the Stormtrooper ranks, he or she must also finish yet another course on Corrida, the academy which was the most infamous one for its hard and intense training that turned regular soldiers into elite warriors. According to official rulebooks, Stormtroopers, both of human and clone descent, were both more trained and more accurate than clone troopers of the Grand Army of the Republic. Stormtroopers follow the orders either of the Emperor himself or of his elite commanders, like Grand Admiral Thrawn or Lord Vader. From what I see, they can even ignore orders of regular army commanders, since it is usual that Stormtroopers had both more battle experience and sometimes even more military education than, for example, low-ranking officers. By the way, let's also never forget that famous Red Guardsmen are also the part of the Corps, although their training is even more severe, since after finishing his or her courses on the hellish planet of Corrida, a soldier must also attend the training on Yinchor, Royal Guard's sacred citadel. So that is all that is needed to say about the relationship between the Imperial Army, an organization that contained tens of trillions of regular soldiers, and the Stormtrooper Corps, a distinct branch of the Imperial military comprising of millions, perhaps billions, including dozens of Red Guardsmen, the elite of the elite. Please write in the comment section below what do you think about my video, and leave a like if you found the information interesting. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more interesting videos about the Galactic Empire and about Star Wars in general. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.